Well, how's everybody doing tonight? It is Wednesday night once again. Wednesday night, you know what that means? It means Randy is back on the air. So here it is on this Wednesday night. And we brought out one of our special guitars tonight. Last week brought out the Melody Maker. Tonight we have brought out something we'll talk about a little bit later. But brought out something. Let's see. I cannot read. What we got here? Hello. Who is that? Casey Lee. Hello. Enjoy these midweek hangs. Good. I'm glad you like them too. Yeah, we like them too. What the hell is getting them in my feet? Not my feet, getting my mouth. So yeah, we have not a whole lot to talk about this week. We got I don't know if anybody saw the latest video we put up about the cruising that we did. Went down to Key West and went guitar shopping. We had that, so we did that. That was on, and the Atlanta Guitar Show went on this past weekend in Atlanta. I did not go. We wanted to go, but I had another gig that I had to take care of that. I couldn't get a sub, so we didn't go. So, but we heard the show was really, really good. I wish we had gone. I heard they had a really good crowd. A lot of dealers showed up for the show, and that's all you can, that's all you can hope for. And actually, there were a few YouTubers that actually showed up there. Some pretty big name YouTubers are actually there. So, which I wish I had gone so I could see some of my other YouTubers. So how's everybody else doing out there? Everybody else, you guys are doing all right? Well, I got 3 people in here right now. We had 5. I had a couple of people drop off. I don't know what. I must have scared them off. My hair. That compression kills me every time. I really need to figure out where the compressor is on. Pull that noise gate or compressor. Let me see. I'm gonna look at the thing. What is going on in the patch here? I don't have my my pedal board, so I cannot look and see what actually is on here. But anyways, I missed the Melody Maker. Yeah. You have a 68 Melody Maker? Yeah, SG type. I have one of those too. You got okay, and Fire. Yeah, I have a I actually have a what do I call that color? Phelan Blue. Yeah, Phelan Blue. So I have that. So yeah, Melody Makers are cool. I had a Melody Maker when I was a little kid, and I still have that guitar. I still have the old Melody Maker. I love them. Fire Engine Red. It's not actually. I don't know if it's called Fire Engine Red. Actually, from back then, it's not Dakota Red, because Dakota Red was actually a Fender designated color. I don't know what they called that. It wasn't Fire Engine Red though. I'm trying to think. I have one too. Actually, last week we had one on with the same red, but it was a 64. I think it was one I had. It was 64 I brought out. Brought 64 out. I have a 65 as well, but I think the 64 has the tremolo and the 64 does not have the tremolo. Those are the ones I brought out with the Pat Travers guitar, I call them. Hey, Terry, how are you? Good to see you. But this is a unique guitar. So we brought this one out. You see anything funny about this guitar? If you've watched my channel in the past, you have seen me talk about, actually, no, I've talked about this. This actually was on the, whose channel did this go on with? This has actually been on a couple channels. It's been featured on a couple channels. It was on In the Blues. Yeah, my buddy from over in Australia came over here and featured me on one of his streams, and we talked about this guitar and a couple other guitars. I'm pretty sure I brought this one out. I think I brought out my 57 Les Paul Special as well. But this is actually really cool one. This is a 1963 Fender Stratocaster. As you, like I just showed you the black. It's yellow over black, and this is factory. So pretty cool to say the least. Nice clay dots, you know. This one's all straight except for the switch has been modded to a 5, and why it's sticking tonight, I don't know, but it is kind of sticky. I think I need to spray it a little bit, but yeah, it's a very cool guitar. This is like one of my favorite guitars I own. I had my 65 Strat and I sold it. It was dead mint. And I was like, yeah, that guitar is really cool. It sounds really good. But for some reason, this guitar has just some character to it. I mean, it's just a really cool guitar. It really is. This is one I'll keep for a long time. So, you guys all talking to each other. Good. Awesome. So, yeah, like I said, I put out a video about the cruise I did and guitar shopping down in Key West, and that was interesting going down there. And we actually gave some support to one of the local dealers down there. Actually, they're the only dealer down there in Key West. They only have one guitar shop or one music store, period, in Key West. It's called Island Guitars. Really nice people. They moved from Pennsylvania down there and opened up a shop. Unfortunately, they're like every other music store pretty much out there. You know, most of us that are independently owned, we all have to have other jobs. We can't just work our one shop. Because like you see so many of these music stores, like myself, we all are musicians on the side. We're working to make some extra money doing that. A lot of us have started YouTube channels like me, and Casino Guitars, Flash Flood Guitars. So many of us have all started, YouTube channel to try to get a little extra stream coming in to kind of help us out, because like lessons and stuff have kind of gone away. I mean, people are not coming in for lessons like they used to. In my shop, I used to have, I'd have them lined up all day long. You'd have people lined up with their kids to come in and take lessons. That doesn't really happen anymore. We still teach, but not like not like it was. Nowhere near like it was. It used to be insane how much we would teach kids and adults as well, but not anymore. So now it's we all look at other avenues, and YouTube is kind of one of those things. So we appreciate you subscribing to the channel, liking the videos, all that good stuff. It does help us survive. That little bit just helps us get through. Memberships also appreciate it as well, which we do have people that have become members as well, and we kind of try to help them out by releasing the videos long before you guys ever see them. So it's pretty funny. This old Strat gets pretty gritty. Let's look and see if we got any nice Strat tones. Sounds like an old Strat to me. So, anyways, yeah. So it sounds good. Is that a rosewood fingerboard? Yes, it is. It is rosewood. This is what you call Brazilian rosewood. Yes, it's Brazilian rosewood. So that's what they did back then. Fender was using Brazilian rosewood for their fingerboards in the 60s. So Brazilian is a little darker. If you're not familiar with Brazilian, it is darker, and that's why you think it's probably ebony. But this one doesn't have. It has a little bit of grain in it. Like you can see it in here. It's a little bit of grain. It goes along in here, maybe a little bit over here as well. Right there, there is. But for the most part, they don't have a lot of streaking. You see a lot of them that have a lot of streaking with them. I have a 2003 Gibson Custom Shop 58 Les Paul, and it's got Brazilian in it. The fingerboard is you can definitely tell that's Brazilian because it's definitely got a lot of streaking, different colors and stuff. It's very pretty. But these older Strats like this, they don't have that. Not generally. What year is the Strat? It is a 1963 Strat. It is all original except for that switch. It was sent back to the factory or sent in the factory. I guess they didn't like the color. It was black. It's what's kind of funny. I was talking to another dealer today. You guys might know of Lay's Guitar Shop, which if you ever need a guitar refinished or refurbished in any kind of way, they're in Akron, Ohio. They do phenomenal work, really, really good. But I was talking to them, to Steve, who came in the shop today. He's down on vacation, and I was showing him the guitar, and he was like, "Wow, that's really cool." And we were like looking at it, he's going, "Yeah, that's really old. That yellow is really old." We were both just saying, "Yeah, that's straight." So, because a lot of times I was like, "Man, can that be?" Because Fender actually did a custom shop reissue of this guitar. I was like, I walked in GC one day, I was like looking at their guitars, and I saw basically this guitar sitting on their wall. I was like, well, that's pretty cool. They actually did a copy of my guitar. So, yeah, this one has a 5-way in it, which the original switch is still in the case, though, which is cool. What is that? There's a knob from something that I own. Found a knob on the ground. I don't know what it goes to. Go to this amp. No, it does not go to that amp. I have a knob just sitting on the ground. Just sitting there doing nothing, but goes to something I own. That's not a Strymon knob, that's for sure. So anyways, I don't know. I had something else I was going to talk to you guys about. Now I got to remember what it was. The mind is a terrible thing. So what is everybody's age tonight? What kind of age groups do we have on here tonight? So try to get generalized what we have going on in common, maybe. 54, okay, all right. So is a 54 a boomer? Is that considered a boomer? '62. All right, so 62 Gen X. Okay, so you're Gen X. All right, so okay, yeah, the boomers are the older guys. The boomers are the guys who are in their 60s, I believe. Yeah. So the Gen Xers. All right, so yeah. All right, so what else we got? Anybody else on here going to reply? We have 2 people replying to the out of the 8 people who are actually watching. Just gonna watch. We're just watchers. We're voyeurs. We just watch from afar. Okay, what we got here? Born in 65. So 65, you are. What is it? 60? Would that be? I'm trying to do the math now. 60. Hello, McFly. Can't do math. It's percentages only. Get 10% off your guitar today. So anyways, so with guitar collections and stuff, we're talking about something. I saw somebody else talking about this. It was what's his name? What's his name? Tone Junkie. That's it. Tone Junkie was talking about Bueller. Anybody? Bueller. Anybody? Bueller. Somebody remembers those old movies. Birth year, a birth year guitar is definitely out of my pay grade. Not necessarily. No, not necessarily. There are other guitars out there. Do you realize that Ibanez actually made guitars in that time period? Carvin made guitars in that time period. So there are affordable guitars that are out there that aren't just Fender and Gibson. And actually, there are Gibsons that if you look out there, if you want a guitar from your birth year, you can find Epiphones and Gibsons and Fenders. Probably I think more Gibson than you're going to probably Fender, unfortunately. Teisco. Teisco's another one. But yeah, but no, some of the hollow body Gibsons, you can find some of those, or like an LGO. You can buy an early 60s, like a 60 LGO for less than, sometimes you can get for less than $1,000. So speaking of Carvin, there are a lot of old bolt-on Carvins that are very cheap because they were kit guitars. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember the catalog that Carvin used to send out. I don't know if you remember. They have the whole front of the section. I actually ordered a T60 from Carvin. I had a purple one. It was a really cool guitar. Really looked really nice. Unfortunately, I didn't keep it. I sent it back because I didn't like where they put the knob, so I couldn't grab a hold of the knob to do volume swells. Because I'm I'm a big Phil Keaggy fan. I love Phil Keaggy. He used did a lot of volume swells. If you don't know who he is, look him up. A great player. So I bought one of their guitars, and it was a great guitar. But you order it out of a catalog. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was a 75 Ibanez Destroyer, and good luck trying to find a 75 Ibanez Destroyer for less than $3,000. That's another cool guitar. I like those guitars. Yeah. But the Carvins, you get this catalog, and it would have all these guitars in front, and you had all these different choices of wood that you could, you know, say, I want this wood, that wood, and then you could put a little order. You could either do it in the back and fill it out and send it to them, and they would build it. Let's see what else got here. I paid only $7 for my Carvin. Yeah, yeah, they're not a whole lot of money. No, Carvins are a good guitar. I've had plenty of them in my shop that I've sold for less than $700. So, and with the way the market is kind of going now, you're going to start seeing a lot of this stuff coming down. It's crazy. That was another thing I was going to talk about. Was I'm starting to see on eBay American guitars, American Tellys and Strats for $700 to $750. American, not Mexican. So you might keep checking on eBay if you're looking for a deal and stuff. Things are starting to come out at really good prices. Old Carvin DCs are pretty reasonable too. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I was going to say. That's the DCs were the ones I actually sold fairly cheap. $500. So, but yeah, so things are starting to change a little bit. But what was I going to talk about? Like I saw the thing with HW, his name. He was talking about how the way people that like me who cherish this old stuff, this is like the holy grail of everything. But I'm not quite, if you watch my videos, you can see that I don't have a problem playing newer stuff. Newer stuff. I like playing Indonesian Paul Reed Smiths. I have no problem playing those or Mexican Strats or any of that stuff. I'm not that guy. It's dumb how much guitar can get. Sure, it's more than Harley Benton, but when you hold them in your hands, you know the difference. Yeah, I can definitely tell the difference between this and a Harley Benton. This guitar. I mean, it feels like a guitar. It has that feel that this guitar was made by one or two people. It just has that feel. The neck is not perfect, and it's like you can tell that somebody actually did this by hand. This was actually, somebody doing this the whole time where, it wasn't like, okay, stick it in the machine and hit the button. And then afterwards, they just a couple times. This is a little different. And you think about that with all these old guitars like these people back then, even the Chinese, or not Chinese, but the Japanese were doing that stuff. They were actually, doing these necks. They might have had some kind of template, but they were actually shaving these things down by hand and making these. And the necks the same way. They had a template, but it wasn't like they are now. They just go 45, go Okay, the guitar's done. Yeah, it does. Yeah, like I said, it's not an a CNC machine. It's not a Haas automation CNC. Anybody know who Gene Haas is? Does anybody know what Gene Haas does? Like when he's not doing his whole thing with making Haas machines? Yep, they did. CNC did. Haas Automation. Yep. Haas made a lot of money. And every weekend he spends a whole lot of money doing one thing. Other than just having fun. Honestly, that's probably Hartley's fault on the DNC because if you think the T60 is hand carved, you're nuts. With the original T60, yeah, I know. Hate, yeah, you're in the ballpark there, Hate. Terry, you're definitely in that. You're in the ballpark. Yeah, he's definitely racing is it. You hit it. It is racing. He's between all his race teams and stuff. He's spending all that money. Most important, wood or electronics? Oh, well, I say PB was one of the first to employ automation. They probably were. Yeah, I agree. They probably were. Wood or electronics? Man, that's a tough question. All the T-Series barely came off the router table before getting in the box. I will tell you what, those old T60s, I remember when I got one, when I was, I don't know how old I was, but I was a kid, younger. Got one, and it was like this. I thought the Les Paul was heavy. That was probably the heaviest guitar I've ever picked up in my life. Outside of the Ibanez Gem Lucite guitars, that by far wins the prize of the heaviest guitar I've ever picked up in my life. I had one of those for a hot moment. It was like, okay, this guitar is really cool. It lights up with all the green lights, but how can you play this damn thing? It's too damn heavy. Also, they were short scale too. So heavy. Yeah, they were super heavy. Absolutely. Yeah, they're small, super heavy guitars, but they had a characteristic to them. They still do. They have their cult following. There are people that just love those things, and good for you, man. You got one, and you like it. So, but I'll stick to these guys and the Les Pauls and the SGs and all that fun stuff. Ash, weren't they? Yeah, they looked as far as I'm pretty sure they were. Hey, Randy, what's up? And crew. That's right. He's back. I wonder if Yngwie owns a guitar in the shade of yellow. He was born in '63. T40 was more impressive use of exact same pickups as the T60, but was lighter. Yes, they had the same pickups, same part number, but they were lighter. So, I don't know about Yngwie. I don't know if he has one of these or not. For the bass and the guitar. Really? They had same number. So did anybody, you guys are talking about the PB and stuff. PB, stuff. Did anybody on here actually work at PB when that was going on? Because I see what people talking about the PB, and I know every now and then we do get some of these guys that actually worked at some of these guitar companies, and PB kind of did a lot of those guys up there wrong. No, he didn't kind of do them wrong. He did them wrong. How about that, Hartley? I said it like everybody else. He did those people wrong. My Carvin DC 235 cost me $288. The guy at the pawn shop kept calling it a caravan guitar. I didn't correct him. No. Is it true that you are married to Heather Lock? Oh, God. Yes, I was going to ask if you ever met Yngwie. I have never met Yngwie. No, that's somebody I have not. A good friend of mine, Dave Bryson, who played with Kansas at one time and played with Carrie, the guy, singer for Kansas. He actually shared a great story with me. He became friends with Yngwie, and one night they were in Yngwie's studio, and Dave is a monster player as well. You know, Yngwie's a monster player, but Dave is one of those guys, just one of those monster players. And Yngwie kind of had a rule that you don't play around him. I don't know what it was. Well, Dave picked up one of the guitars, figured they were friends, so he picked up guitar and he started doing some really cool stuff, he said. Yngwie quickly said, Dave, you can leave, and kicked him out of the house. So that's my Yngwie story. I realize why Yngwie doesn't have a bunch of Les Pauls. He plays them, but you've seen how he stores his guitar. I'm pretty sure he's broken the headstock of every Les Paul. He may. That's a good thing. Heather? No, never mind. I won't get Heather. I'll leave Heather alone. Inside joke, guys. Inside joke. But anyways. So my battle, what are you Battlestar Galactica? What I can't remember what you buy here. Galactic Star-Lord. Star-Lord, you didn't go to Atlanta, did you? Bro, drop stacks 50 strat. Bro, drop stacks 50 strats and studio tour is hard to watch. I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that means. But okay, so you did not go to Atlanta. I heard it was a good show, by the way. I talked about that earlier. Yeah, it was busy. Did our buddy up there from China Grove go? Do you know? Our buddy Chippy? Cool. So Chip did go. Awesome. Did he do any good, I wonder? I wonder if he did all right. I mean, Chip he's got so many damn guitars. It's crazy. You should have been able to sell some stuff. There's a video here with Yngwie's studio tour. Okay, so it talks about the 54. Huh, cool. I will have to check out the Yngwie video. Chip off the whole block. Now, Chip owns Chip's Music in China Grove, North Carolina. Bought a Champ lap steel from Lee remotely. Oh, really? Huh. Chip did okay. You know, I heard some news about the Atlanta show that a lot of guys that went up there, if they didn't have stuff that was in the $500 to $1,500 range, they weren't doing as well. I heard there was a lot of people looking for that style stuff. So I think it's on a Guitar Player channel. Kind of went dropping guitar in a ways ringtone. Huh. China Grove. Do you want me to play China Grove? Yeah. So it was, yeah. I heard from quite a few of my dealer friends. It was, they said, man, if you'd come up here with a bunch of Mexican Strats and cheaper, Les Pauls and American Strats, you were cleaned up. Yep, 500 to 1,500. That was the number. That's exactly what I heard. The number was that. But if you had stuff more than that, you had a little struggle. Can you play Barnyard by the Beach Boys? I should know that. I don't think we played that. I played in a Beach Boys tribute band, and that was not one that was on the list, so I don't know that one. And I don't even think I remember half those songs. Believe it or not, a lot of their songs are just 3 chords, but the way they did their arrangements was always cool. It's off the smile. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. Dude, I didn't know you do a live stream. I was turned onto your channel by a friend from Scotland, Texas, here. Currently working my way towards 10,000 hours of practice. Over halfway there at 5.K. Oh, cool. Very good. Honey, I'm in Homestead. Cool guitar sound you have. Thank you. I appreciate that. Darlene says hi. Well, tell Darlene I said hi. Tell Fender and Mocha. Is Mocha still around? What is your favorite song to play at the moment? Oh boy. What is a favorite song I like playing at the moment? I don't really have any. Whatever's paying the most. Whatever people put the most money in the tip bucket for. How's that for an answer? What is okay? Okay. So yeah. But no, I play in a band, guys. So I play each week, and it's my practice and my keeping up with stuff is not like a lot of people where you sit down and you practice, just or sitting around and doing practicing scales or modes or whatever you're going to do. My practice is getting something like this with a bunch of songs on it, like this, right? And I go down the songs and I start listening to them and I learn them. And that's kind of what I do. I just learn songs and learn them and go out and play them. Do you have do I have to memorize the tunes? Okay, somebody actually kind of asked this. I do not. I memorize most of my stuff. 99. Well, on stage, everything's memorized. Everything I just memorize. But yeah, the Schenker V. What about the Schenker V? Where is it? It's back over there somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, there's the Schenker V. Yes, it's back there. So somebody showed somebody this. I think the last week or the week before. This is my reference notes. These are what I write. So this is for Ramble On. This is the last one I actually kind of write. I just write basic, the D, from D to E to E minor 11, and then G to A, then to A sus, and then there's a solo break, which I memorized the solo break. I already memorized that. Then another chorus comes up, and then the chorus is E, D to E, D, E, and then G to slash to A, and then back to G, and then to D, and then solo number 2, and blah blah. So that's my reference notes that I do for here when I practice to learn songs. But when I'm actually on stage, it's all here. So, what is the factory name for that shade of yellow? Factory shade. I know graffiti yellow was the color that that Fender did use at one time. I don't know in '63 when this one came out. I don't know if they had if graffiti yellow was the color. I don't know because it would have been a DuPont color. So I would say this is probably the same colors that they were finishing those 63 coupes and stuff that, like you saw. If you ever saw the movie American Graffiti, and now this is going back. I mean, we're going back a little ways, but American Graffiti had a lot of those cars. And I believe there was a car in that movie that was this color. So I'm just saying it's graffiti yellow, which is American Graffiti, but yeah, it was graffiti yellow. It was, so maybe that's why they called it that. I just thought about that. That's kind of funny. That might be right. I could be. All right. Anything else up here? So anyways. So Star-Lord, you like my Schenker V, I guess. Eric, you're here. That guitar is a really cool guitar. I like playing it, but only when I'm standing up. I tried to play it last week. I tried to play it here on the channel for, God, I might have got maybe 10 minutes into it. I said, I'm done with this guitar. This is a 1963. That's all V's. Yeah, exactly. It is all V's. This thing's starting to wave a little bit and tune it up a little bit. I had back when I was a kid, I actually owned a 58 and a 59 Flying V. And it was no big deal back then. It was a big deal because I think I bought the one. I bought it in a little place that was, a little, really tiny little place. It barely had any guitars in this place. They probably had 10 guitars on the wall, but it was a true guitar shop. And it actually was two of the brothers that used to work at Guitar Trader up in Red Bank. And they opened up their own little place down here. And I walked in there and I saw the V, the Korean V on the wall. I was like, oh, I gotta have that. Oh my God, I gotta have it. So I put it on layaway and worked at the swimming pool doing lifeguarding, and took my money and paid it off as quick as I could. And it wasn't a whole lot. It was nothing. Those guitars are over $1 million now. And back then it was maybe $1,000. I don't even think it was even that. I can't remember, but I know it couldn't have been a whole lot of money because I bought it and I worked it as a lifeguard. So it couldn't have been a whole lot of money. But then I got that one, and then somebody called me and said, "Hey, I was over at I can't remember the place. I can't. It was a place in Orlando. And, it was a long time ago. Long time ago. And they said they have a V there on the wall, and I went, really? So I went, and sure enough, it was another one, but this one was a 59. I went, oh, I gotta have it. Once again, let me give you some money, and I'll put that on layaway. And I put it on layaway, and I bought the guitar. So then I had two of them, and the 59, I didn't like it. For some reason I just didn't bond with that guitar, but the 58, I still to this day, that's the one that haunts me the most of any guitar I think I've ever owned. I should have never, ever got rid of that guitar. God, what a dummy I am. There was left, I think there were actually 30 some, like it was in the 30s. It wasn't a whole lot. And the 59 was only in the 50s. So there weren't a whole lot of them made. I used to know that number by heart. I used to know the production numbers a whole 9 yards. I should go back over that. Yeah, I know 19 Explorers. I know that. Yeah, I told the story last week about the Explorer coming in the shop. So, God, that guy. He had the Flying V and the Explorer. Didn't know what he had. I think Kirk Hammett owns Michael Schenker's original V guitar that he recorded the first UFO albums, first three. Really? You hit the lotto twice. Could have? Yeah, I hit the lottery twice. Unfortunately, I sold them before the lottery even was existing. So Randy didn't get a whole lot of money. It's funny. Kurt Hammett owns Greenie, and he owns Michael Schenker V. And I'm not a big Kurt Hammett fan. I mean, he's an okay player, but I'm not a big fan. He's one of those guys. Actually, I will say this: he's one of those guys I would like to meet and hang out with and go surfing with. I don't care about sitting around playing guitars. I would rather me and him go out, let's surf, go out and line up and go to the line out, hang out and surf for a little while. Perfectly good with that. I like the guy because he surfs. But yeah, so somebody, oh yeah. There's my Michael Schenker. 98 Flying Vs. You have 98 Flying Vs? I would not doubt it with you, man. I own Chris Glenn's bass. Really? Cool. That's right. You did. I forgot about that. You do own that. I forgot about it. You have that. I remember that. That's right. You have that. Pete that took Michael Schenker's place. Was it Peter Way? There's Pete Way that was in the band, but there was another Pete, I think, that played. No, that's what. Oh, that's what. Not. Oh, that's on the Flying V. on the 98 Flying V. Really? There's that many? I didn't think there was that many. Maybe it's 57 they made of the 58 and 97 of the 59. I don't know. I don't remember. What was I going to say? But one of the guys actually used to live down here in Melbourne. We used to see him all the time. Pete Way was a bass player. Paul Chapman was the guy. Paul Chapman. Paul Chapman used to live down here, and we used to see him quite often. He was a pretty neat guy, a pretty nice guy. I think he passed away not too long ago as well. But both those guys are gone now. God rest their soul. Playing funeral music. It's a pain to adjust the truss rod on a 63 Fender. Yeah, I know. I agree. Your guitar needs it badly. My guitar needs it bad? My guitar is perfectly straight. If I've got a little buzzing going on, it's because I like it that way. So Vinnie Moore, yeah, he replaced Paul Chapman. Yeah. Yeah, I set my guitars up with a little buzz. I don't mind a little buzz because a lot of the stuff I actually play, we don't play much clean stuff. So I'm not going to hear it. So most of my stuff is like this. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate it. I would say that's all right. If you're still a little bit of sustain on the neck, I don't have to adjust the truss rod. So, but yeah, if I go, yeah, I just kind of like the clean sounds. And I don't mind. Like I said, I don't care about buzzing. Buzzing is not good. That does not bother me one bit. Every one of my Paul Reed Smiths, they all when I play live, they all have a little bit of buzz to them. If I hear buzzing, it's not going to freak me out. A lot of guys want to hear no fret buzz whatsoever. And the problem with that is, especially with a Strat, is that means that action's got to be a little higher off that neck. If I have to sit here and work to bend my strings and push down, I'm not happy. What do you think of the new Fender Strats? I'm not a fan of the American Professional. So yeah, we have talked about that. I have talked about the Strats. A lot of the stuff coming out of Fender right now is not good. It's not consistent for some odd reason. I don't know what's going on out there in California. I don't know. I have no idea. But the Mexican stuff has been a little bit more consistent than the stuff that's coming out of Corona. So I don't know what's going on. I'm not really a big fan of what I've been saying. I had a guy bring me a brand new Strat that he just bought from GC, needed it set up. He didn't like how high it was. Doesn't buzz, but he didn't like the way it felt. He wanted it lower, and he played my guitar. He said, I want my guitar to play like yours. So I felt it, and then the frets are actually physically hanging off the side of the neck. I'm like, that's not good at all. I expect that from a Chinese guitar, but not from a guitar coming from America. If you don't play clean tones and you don't need it, I'm mainly an acoustic player, and I hate it. Oh, acoustic, I agree. It's different acoustic, not an electric. I'm playing since 18 Japanese Strats and still affordable. for the most part, yeah, Japanese Strats are still a good deal. Definitely. So we got about 5 minutes left here in the till the end of the show here, guys. So if you got questions about anything, about your guitars or whatever, you're working on songs, stuff, want some tips on playing music, whatever, let me know now. Blast me now. Look at that. I cannot believe it. Shane, the man himself, is here. What time is it in Australia, my friend? I have to know this. I got to know what time it actually is in Australia. 11 a.m. Really? It's only 11 a.m. in Australia. Yeah, a friend of mine is actually heading. Actually, my guy I do the guitar shows with, Bruce, he's going to be going on a cruise out of Australia in a few months, and I wanted to go so bad. I was like, hey, you should go. It's like, it's only $10,000. I was like, only $10,000. You know how many guitars I can buy for $10,000? But he's going, and I would love to go out there. I would love to go over to see you and hang out with you over there. You come hang out in my area. I can come hang out with you. The new Ultra Vintage series is great. I have not played one of the new brand new Ultra ones. Huh? Haha, far out, very cool. And what else got here? ELO wrote a song about him. Yeah, they did, didn't they? Shane's video that featured your store is how I first found out about your store. Awesome. Yeah, Shane helped me out. I mean, Shane hooked me up. He's a good brother. So, what we got here? One guitar for $10,000? No. How about multiple guitars for $10,000? Don't let me down, Bruce. Yeah, Shane, I showed you this guitar, didn't I? When you came to the shop, the one that's over black. I believe so. I believe it was you that kind of featured it on your channel. Yes, I believe so. Looks great. Awesome. Well, I got to play some blues licks for you, right? Here you go, blues. So play some Weird Al Yankovic. That was Rick Derringer. Yeah, I know Shane likes to play the blues and stuff. He does. Shane, you do those jam things. I can't do them because they don't pay me. I'm sorry. I'm a money hoe. I'm gonna hang in the corner whistle for some money come through my way. How much does that guitar weigh? This guitar weighs 13 pounds, 4 ounces. No, this guitar weighs about probably 7 pounds. Oh, you got paid to host a night at the jam. Oh, that's kind of cool. Good. Awesome. You should. Teenage Love Affair. Teenage Love Affair. Teenage Love Affair. What the hell is that? I don't remember the song. What is that song? Star Lord, you keep giving me these things. Oh, okay, Rick Derringer, yeah, yeah. The only one, what was it? I can't. Now I was getting two songs confused. But in that's like Beat It, and Beat It was what was Weird Al Yankovic's version of Beat It? What did he call it? Meet It? What the hell? He called it something else. Eat It. Oh, that's right. It was Eat It. He had the big fat guy doing the thing. That's right. He had the original fat bastard. I played that. Actually, I played that the night that he died. We were on here. Oh boy. So, anyways, Shane, I wish you had come earlier. So I do this every Wednesday. Shane, you got to come in and join me. Maybe I should try to do a live stream and split the two of us together. We can be on the same stream at one time. That would be kind of cool. Have a couple of us on here and just kind of talk and shop. I think people would like that. But now that this channel has started to kind of take off, and don't forget, guys, if you're new to the channel, please do hit the like and subscribe button, and please help a brother out. That's right. Randy needs some new shoes. My wife, actually, I got to get some new shorts. My wife tonight told me I have these plaid shorts on. They're brown. See these? My wife said, you got to get some new shorts. I said, why? She goes, I don't like plaid. And I said, what? What do you mean you don't like plaid? That's sacrilegious. Heather is expensive. You know what? Heather is very expensive. She's still thinking I'm trying to keep up with, her past boyfriends and husbands and stuff. So start wearing a kilt and she'll be happy with the shorts. She'll be happy with the shorts. As she probably would be. Oh, so it was I can be like the guy in Bowling for Soup. He wears a kilt, doesn't he? Doesn't that guy wear the kilt? I love those guys. Has anybody ever seen Bowling for Soup? Those guys are great live. If you have never seen them live, go see them. They're great. Really, really good. I wish I could get my band to play some Bowling for Soup. They got some great songs. I would like to even just do the theme for Phineas. What is it? The cartoon? Phineas Ferb or something like that. I don't even know. My friend John wrote 1985. Really? Did he? That is a great song. Everybody thinks they did that other song, Stacy's Mom, and they didn't write that song, but they actually ended up covering it. Huh. It's a great song. Yeah. 1985 is a really good song. I like this song. Why is this compressed so bad? All right. So, anyways, I am a little over my time. I usually try to keep these things to 1 hour. We're at 104. We're at 105 because the clock just ticked off at 105. I like to keep these things streamlined because my it's a cover 19. What? 1985 was by SR-71? Really? Are you sure? I used to play How's that song go? Should play that song, an SR-71 song. They did God, what's up there? God, I hate that. That was one of the songs I used to play all the time. It was one of their songs. But yeah, I didn't realize they actually did that. Really? So all their songs are covers? All their famous songs are covers. They actually, when I saw them live, they did a bunch of covers. Hi from Alachua, Florida. It's Margaret. Yay! Margaret's here right in the last minute. We're going to be here. Hi from, oh, it's her again. I hate this because these readers, I got readers on, but they kind of show things twice. Like right now, everything's blurry, but at least I only see it one time. Marjorie! Yeah, Marjorie laughing at me. I gotta watch out. YouTube will get me with these things. I don't want to be like Rick Beato, who every time he brings somebody on, he gets copyright strike for everything he does. What is that Strat? Oh, this guitar was actually made by Harley Benton. No. Wait, that's not Double Vision. Is it? No. Yeah, it's Double Vision. That's right. I just played that song. I don't even know what I played. No, this guitar is a 1963 Strat, by the way, or Marjorie. So anyways, all right, guys, I am going to wrap her up and get out of here because I am over my my allowed time. Because Heather in the other room will start jumping on me and saying, "Get off the YouTube thing. We got stuff to do." Tell Heather we said good night. I will. I'll tell Heather that you guys all said good night, and you guys have a great time. And hey, Shane, thanks for showing up tonight. I do appreciate it. Don't forget, every Wednesday, 8 o'clock, we will be here. Actually, all you guys, I thank you for all showing up and hanging out with us. And you know what I say? So long from the Sunshine State.